record is 11 minutes and 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Wait, live? I thought we watched it earlier.
No.
It's where they're on Zoom and they're talking with people.
I'm not sure.
What is those?
Let's go. Let's go. 2 minutes. 10 seconds. Let's go.
I want to see if it's the same thing.
Same.
Because I know what it looks like in mine memory, but I don't know what it looks like in mine. What is that?
I don't know why I can't hear anything.
How many likes? Where did that go? Yama.
Minute and 36. Default move up my way. One 1 minute and 20 seconds. 1 minute and 15 seconds. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Should I get front or back here? Let me check back. One sec over here. Oh, here's good. Focus. 55 seconds. 50 seconds. Or why would you shoot down there, Black Manta? 45 seconds.
Why does it say show, not live event?
35 seconds. I'll be like, bruh. I'll shoot for the rest of the time. I won't. I'll shoot.
Hello there. Bye.
Alright, bruh. Alright, bruh. Oh, 20 seconds, 20 seconds, 20 seconds. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
They mad, they high. Thinking the badge is better than having some heart. Okay, look now, look how they running. They beating white people down just to show us what's coming. Or to show us we nothing. Or to show us we only welcome when singing or balling. You shut up and dribble. Word, high, rock, low.
Hey everybody, I'm Carrie Champion. Welcome to We the People. So today we are having a very candid conversation with athletes and artists who want to make sure that you use your voice to vote. Voting is your voice. So we have so many different issues that have happened in this country. It's really, truly unprecedented time. So I'm looking forward to these conversations. I think you'll be educated as well as entertained, but most importantly informed. We have morethanavote.org, whenweallvote.org, and fairfight.com. Those resources are imperative as we try to change our future.
Yeah, la.
There's no way that we can talk about hip hop or even the fact that we want to talk about activism, black voter suppression, without bringing in this guy straight from Port Arthur, Texas. We are talking about Bumpy. He is an activist, a scholar, and an all-around gentleman. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Bun, I don't want to start heavy, but I guess I have to because that's where we are in the world today. It's heavy as hell. And when you think about what needs to happen in this country in terms of change, what's the first thing that you think of?
Equality. That's pretty much the first thing that comes to mind, right? Black people need to be seen as equals in this world. You know, we had to fight just to be recognized as a full citizen in this country and not 3/5.
The world is now seeing what we've known for so long in the culture and in the community. The one way that we can fight is obviously voting. Talk to me about what voting means to you.
I hear people all the time talking about one vote doesn't matter and that voting doesn't make a difference. If that's true, why do they work so hard to suppress the black vote? Because they understand the power of the vote. And so it's time that black people collectively also understand the power of their vote. And not just on a national level, because a lot of times we only have this conversation every 4 years. People need to be very much involved in their local politics. They need to understand who their elected officials are, where they stand on issues that affect you. And you need to use your vote to either support the ones that care about you and your condition or to elect people who do. A newer initiative that we're dealing with is educating felons, right? So in the state of Texas, if you're a felon, right, if you've been to jail or to prison, and but you're no longer on probation or parole, you have the right to register to vote. Another thing that was just brought to my attention, there's an initiative called Orange, which is happening not just in Houston,
How'd they
but
get
all
up
over the
there?
country. If you're in jail currently during pretrial, but you have not been convicted, like you're still in jail waiting for your day in court, you are still eligible to vote.
And you said something so key. They work so hard to hope that we stay uninformed, but more importantly, to suppress the black vote. If you could do one thing with this message that we're trying to send today about how important voting is, what type of images would you like our people to understand and see when they go to these polls and vote or when they cast their ballots?
I think the images that we've all seen, you know what I'm saying, for decades in this country, if not centuries in this country, we've seen black people oppressed,
Oh,
we've seen black people attacked. So every time you look back and you see those old black and white images of people of color being attacked by dogs and people of color being sprayed with hoses, that's what they were fighting for. Back then, they were just fighting for a chance to vote. People like Martin Luther King Jr., people like Malcolm X, these people died to help us
hello,
be in a position to have the power that we have
Hi,
now,
bud.
which is to be able to cast a vote and make a decision about the people that have controls over our lives. So, I mean,
I'm gonna do
if
that
you in
again
your
for
own
one.
community need a reason to vote, look at a person like George Floyd. If the people in your city are not
R.I.P.
open to police reform, are not open to having the conversation about defunding
Change
the
my skin. Not fade. Alright, get back to the show. What?
and racial equality, economic equality, judicial equality,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Who see us as human beings. And if the people in your community don't feel that way, vote them out. It's that simple. It's just vote them out. We don't have enough time to sit
Move
around and
out
hope that
my
people change
way.
their minds.
Yeah, Bumpy, you point out something so important. We have the power, and that is in our vote, and that is with our voice, and that's how we use our
Wow.
voice. I think of where we are right now. People say this is a particular moment, but it is a movement, not just a moment, it is a movement. Why, in your opinion, was it George Floyd's death? Why was that the chosen brutality for people to say, oh my God, black people are still oppressed in this country, and it is not fair?
I think it's twofold, Carrie. In so many different encounters between people of color and the police, there simply is no proof of what happened in the interaction. And so what happens is in a court of law, it tends to lean towards the policeman's point of view, right? In this case, we saw very clearly what happened. I think the other thing is due to the fact that everyone was at home, basically, during this time period in relation to the coronavirus, you couldn't avoid it, right? It was on every television station.
No
It was on
cap,
every
you look
social
like
media
Mike Tyson.
platform. Everywhere you turn, you were
You look
constantly
like
hit
Mike
upside the
Tyson.
head with this message. You see in the interaction that this man did nothing to deserve what happened.
That's right. So well said, because if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't worth it, and he didn't have to lose his life. I think that you touched on something that a lot of people talk about, and that is now defunding the police. That has been such a huge conversation, but there's so many misconceptions around defunding and dismantling. If you will, educate the audience.
All right, so most people, when they hear the term defund the police, they tend to think of, oh, they're going to take away our police department. Nothing could be further from the point. Defunding the police means that in certain communities, even in
No,
Houston, take for
not
example,
danger.
we had over $1 billion allocated to our police force. Now, what is that money being used for? Some of that money tends to be allocated towards riot shields, right? Pepper spray, right? That kind of thing. That's only used against the people that fund this budget. Right? So why would the people want to supply the police with the means to oppress them? If the police are concerned about the situations in certain communities with a higher crime rate, well, higher crime rates tend to happen in communities where there's not employment opportunities, right? There's not a lot of social services, and people are going to do what they need to do to take care of themselves and their families. When the community has more opportunities for employment, more opportunities for upward mobility, then they tend to be a less of a strain. And we just want to educate people. We want to inform people because people are tired, they're angry, they're concerned, and they want information and they want action. And so we want to make sure that we give them the right information and lead them in the right direction. And we thank the people that do not look like us
Bro.
for standing with us right now because it's very
Amen.
important that people who aren't black be involved because if black people could have gotten rid of racism, we would have done it hundreds of years ago. And so I'm trying to use my voice and my platform just to let people know that if they feel like I do, there's a number of places they can go to enact change in their community. People need to know about how their city council runs. They need to know that they have the ability to speak when city council meets, to let them know that that's not the way that they feel their city needs to be run. Those are not the places that they feel the money of their
And Bud,
community needs to be allocated.
and Bubby, even a step further, they can run for office in their local community. They can run for positions. Like people act like they leave it up to somebody else. If you're upset, it's not hard to get on the school board. It's not hard to be a part of the city council. It really isn't. And depending on how small your town is, you could be a mayor. It's the power is with the people, and we need to just know that that's happening.
Absolutely. And it's always been with the people. You know, if you look at Trayvon Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, right? She felt that there was a system of racism and a system of oppression that led to her son's death. And so what did she do? She ran for city council and she was elected to city council. Our own former president, 44, Barack Obama, right, started in the community as an activist, ran for an elected position, became senator, ran for another elected position and became president of the United States. So don't think that you can't make a difference. You know what I'm saying? You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of power. Your voice is enough to make a difference.
Amen. I feel like I need to go out and run for something. You gave me a rousing speech there, sir. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this. When I talk to my brothers, I have to ask you, as a black man, how are you doing? Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. I have a very strong relationship with God, so prayer definitely works for me. I have children and grandchildren who are watching me, who are encouraged by what I do, and they're proud of me right now, you know, and that's really what matters, you know. The change starts at home, you know, so as long as you have a support system that believes in what you're doing and supports you in what you're doing, you have everything you need to go out there and fight the good fight. And for those that don't, there's a community of people here to help you. So you can go to places like morethanavote.org. There are many different places that will encourage you, inform you, and they will put you with groups of people that feel like you, that are ready to take action. So no one has to go about this alone if they want to do it.
Yeah, we're stronger together. People have been saying it, but that has much more meaning now that we are in our movement, not just this moment. Bumby, it has been an education, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Keep fighting the good fight.
Keep up the good fight.
Yeah, la la.
So our next guest, I have to admit, I'm a fan, but there are so many different people that we could talk to, and I thought it was so imperative that we speak with her. You know her as Molly on the huge, successful show Insecure, HBO's Insecure. She also has a comedy special highlighting her Nigerian roots, and she's an amazing podcaster. Let's welcome in Yvonne Orji, everyone. You have such a beautiful way of making things funny, giving us our medicine with some candy, right? The humor and the healing. You bring all of that to your space. And right now, as you look across this country and how everyone is so broken and so upset, if it's not social injustice, it's the pandemic, it's depression, it's unemployment, the list goes on and on. How are you doing, quite frankly?
You know, I'm rediscovering self in a way that is hard, but necessary, that will lead to ultimate joy. I know it sounds like a lot, but no, I think I personally think that God put all of us on a global timeout. Like we just, America hasn't done as good as other people when it comes to timeouts because everyone else is out playing at recess, and we're still in the principal's office hoping and wishing we can come out. But I think that if we settle into the timeout and really learn the lesson that we're supposed to learn from this season, I think we'll emerge better. We'll learn how to play well with others in more ways than one. And so personally for me, I'm taking this time to learn me in a new way. I feel like I'm being ushered into a new season, and I'm getting still, because sometimes the busy confounds the work that we're supposed to actually be doing. We're busy doing other stuff, but we got work that we need to do on the inside. And I'm leaning into it. I'm like, dang, I thought I thought I was gonna be able to rest like everybody else. And God's like, nah, we got work to do.
You know what? And I think that's what everybody is saying about 2020. It's demanding that we be better. And you said it's a global timeout. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's like everyone sit down, be humble, to quote the great prophet Kendrick Lamar. But like, no, seriously, sit down and let's reevaluate some things. Let us unearth and shake up the things that we have been trying to hide within ourselves, within our nation. I think America is going through an unraveling right now, a much needed,
How
a
do
much
I miss
necessary one. And
that?
I think all eyes on us, right? There is no,
Be
oh,
humble.
I was on the
Sit
subway for
down.
an hour, so I didn't miss
Be
that thing that
humble.
happened. No,
Sit down.
everybody was home.
Be humble.
Everybody, was watching
Sit
when
down.
George Floyd
Be
died,
humble.
and everybody, no one could hide it. Everyone was watching when Amy Cooper called the cops. Like, this is a time where it's like, oh, we can't pretend it away. We can't excuse it away. No, 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 no. It's a global timeout. Sit down, watch, and let's learn. And globally, it's like, hey, we were going business as usual, but it ain't
I'm trying to
usual
get
no
up
more.
there.
Like
Son of
that
a
that's
bitch.
that's old.
Okay.
Anytime change occurs, it's very uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so right now
I'm
we're
trying to get up
sitting with
there,
the
bruh.
we're getting
See the view.
we're getting comfortable with the uncomfortable.
The minorities, we've been comfortable with being uncomfortable because that to me explains just the existence for whatever we want to do, how we break into our careers, how we live our lives, how we find ourselves one of the few or one of the first. And that's a lonely road. When you look
No,
at, and you
my
talk about
house.
this global timeout, everybody had to pay attention to Amy Cooper. Everyone had to pay attention to George Floyd.
You didn't
How
go
is
to
that
sleep?
helping us as a people, as a country during our global timeout?
I think, well, one, we're not minorities, Carrie. You already know it. It's like these labels that they put on us. It's
Yeah.
like the same way of saying like black on black violence. Also, there's no white on white violence. It's branding,
Yeah,
right? It's all
yeah,
branding.
you're right. You're
It's
right.
like white people kill white people every single day. So no, there is no black on black violence. And if you say black on black violence, well then let's brand white on white violence. Like I watch Investigation Discovery.
Okay.
Ain't too many of us being featured. So, I just even like, but to answer your question, what does that do? I think what everyone expected is what has happened in the past when the world was still open, right? In that, okay, you had everyone from Trayvon Martin to Castillo to Sandra Bland. You had all of these lives lost, and black people made some noise. We rioted, we got out in the streets, we started the Black Lives Matter movement, all of those things. And then white people kind of just like, oh, let's give them something. And then it's just like, is it over? It's like Oscar is so black. Okay, okay, good. We gave some Oscars. Are we good now? Like, are we even?
Mm-hmm.
And it's now it's just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh no, 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 no. This is not about like a band-aid. It's like, yo, we might have to amputate the leg a little bit.
Not like
But it's
a
all right because we're gonna by amputating the leg, we're gonna save the body. And so I think that's what's happening now. Like America is realizing like, oh, black people aren't just making a little bit of noise. Like the protests are still out. The conversations are still being had. The change is still being demanded. And I think they're seeing, oh, this is not going no way. And no, it's not because we need systematic change.
What a beautiful way to explore what is happening and describe our country. We might have to amputate the leg, but that's to save the body. That's what's happening right now. That's beautiful, Yvonne.
This is the
And
worst
to
year
that
I've
end, I
had.
have to ask you this because the way that we do that, we use our voice. And our voice right now in this world, in this country, is our vote. And everyone talks about voting and how important it is, but I feel like more than ever we understand that it's not just about voting every 4 years for the man in office. It's about your local elections. It's about the mayor. It is about the district attorney, the people who have the power to bring charges against police if police brutality is an issue in your community. If you care about your school district, you can run for the school board. I ask this of you, right? Your parents are from Nigeria. You are Nigerian. You talk about that very lovingly. What does voting mean for you?
I think voting is power. I remember, I became a naturalized citizen back in the '90s when, because I was still a minor, my mom naturalized, and so we were able to do it under her. And just even that power of like we are American citizens and
She
all
didn't
the
go to
access
sleep?
that we have by being citizens, one of those accesses and those access to power being voting, it's a big deal. It's a big deal because not only are we do we have the opportunity to be in this country, but now we can be of the country. We can be of the systems. We can be of the rules. We can be
No.
of what it actually affords. But I think going back to your earlier
Like
comment
he's
about
the main character.
just the setup of
The one to the left, not
systems,
green.
I think
Guess he's
we
the
are
main
done a
character.
disservice. Either it's schools or whatever it is, and I'm not putting teachers on
Uh,
blast. I think teachers do a phenomenal
no,
job,
you
but
ain't
for
watching
some
this, bro.
reason, we do
You
not,
just gotta watch my
and give them all the
face.
raises. I know too many parents who are like,
You
I
just gotta
might,
watch my face.
this child of mine, I do love them, but hey, who,
I'm not gonna film.
where can I drop them off? And I do think that there is a disservice done because, again, when we talk about voting, to your point, we talk about every 4 years. It's important to vote for the presidency. We don't realize, like, oh, snap, we actually can vote about, like, how much our libraries get. It's like small things like that, but they make a big difference.
When you think of voter suppression in this country, what does it look like for you?
It's the systems. When we talk about voter suppression, we also talk about systematic racism, right? It's all the systems that set up,
No.
and we've normalized. Okay, maybe your job will give you a
No.
half day, or maybe you'll be able to get this luxury. It shouldn't be a luxury. It should be built into the system. It should be built into the fabric of
Okay,
how we
no.
vote. But maybe
Let me
you will
get
be able to get this
picture.
luxury in order to enable you to go vote. Think about everything disenfranchised, marginalized. Country, but then you also see all the times that you
And
doesn't matter, and then you're kind of like, what's the point?
How do we keep hope though? If I'm watching this right now, I want to I how do we as a people stay hopeful? How do we believe in the promise that these quote unquote forefathers have given us?
Because have you met black people by the cross? Like hope is infused
have
in
you
our
met black
DNA. Like
people?
you know what I'm saying? Like by the like if we haven't been broken now through, be it through
You're right.
slavery, through
Give
capitalism,
it to me.
through
Give it to me.
colonization, through
Yeah,
segregation,
you're right.
through
How in the
I
world
mean,
am I
listen,
lagging
black the
everything?
history of black people in this country is
Ah,
at one
one
point
thing
we were
actually.
3/5 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's
At one
that,
okay,
that was a
well,
written law. And look at us now. We are whole. We are black girl magic. We are black boy joy. We are, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
What I think about in terms
Guys,
of
got the
giving us
best view
hope,
here.
right? We're
Got the
making a
best
lot of
view
people
ever.
nervous right now, Carrie. We're
Mm.
making a lot of people
Ben,
nervous right now because
Bro,
they're
I'm
like,
not the type of
dang,
streamer
we put
that
all
like
these
look.
obstacles in their way, and these jokers are resilient. But that should give us hope. That should give us hope that like we can't stop, won't stop. I mean, I
I'm
went to the
ice.
school of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag, bye 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 bye. Harlem shaking it right
Meow
now.
ski.
Can't stop,
No,
won't stop. And I,
I'm gonna wear a
and I,
mask
I think
'cause
that's our motto. We can't stop voting and we won't stop voting. We can't stop marching and we won't stop marching. We can't stop thriving and we won't stop thriving.
to that end, because you led me directly.
I kicked them off. Mm, 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 There we go, meow skills. Okay.
Activism is that it has many faces, right? You're gonna have the people on the front lines. Like, you know what? Martin Luther King marched, but there were a lot of women who were in the homes like, hey, BT Dubs, when they come back, this is how we support all the people who are marching on the front lines. And we're going to be here doing what we know to do best here. And you know what? Somebody needs to bail them out of jail so now we need to be in the community, getting money or whatever it is. So it's like everybody has a position to play. And so play your position like a shortstop, bro. So whoever you are and whatever you do, play your position. So activism could look like, you know what? I'm not the one that's built to be on the front line, but you know what? My pockets go deep, so I'm gonna support the people on the front line. I'm a comedian, Black joy is a form of activism.
There's always a call for entertainers or celebrities that have the platform to do something. Why aren't you speaking out? I'm not a believer in thinking that it's mandatory. Like you said, everyone can be an activist and be activated in different ways. But talk to me about the connection. Talk to me about the marginalization in your world and how you feel like it even inspires you to say more and use your platform to do more.
Beneath the surface of what we do, like Niecy Nash says, it's the who, right? The who is the person who's going to be like, hey, let me call this out. Either blind racism, in terms overt racism, in terms of ways that we can be better, in terms of ways that we can actually be more uplifting to the community that you may not even realize that you're serving.
Before I let you go, talk to me about the urgency, in your opinion, for people to vote, our people to get out and vote this coming election.
Yeah, I mean, guys, 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 if you think you're tired now, I'm telling you right now, we cannot take this sitting down. We can't take this jokingly. I understand that it may be hard to figure out who to vote for, but at
Kanye
the end of the
West.
day, we got to vote for our families. We got to vote for our legacies. We got to vote for
Kanye
continued
West.
progress. We have to
Kanye West.
vote for
Kanye West. West.
upward mobility. We have to vote for equality in a way that is long lasting. And if we succeeded before, we can do it again. You talk about the whole. This is the time. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to pretend a way that we haven't made progress. We have. There's still much more to be done. And you know what? We might have to get to a point where we pass the baton to our children and our children's children, but we still have work to do now for that generation.
Yvonne Orji, you are everything. You are Molly, but you are not Molly, but I love you so much as Molly on HBO's Insecure. You are an amazing podcaster, Jesus and Jola. Shout out to Lovey. And then we also have movies. Like you, The World, you're a model, a cover model. Also, wait, don't let me forget your hugely successful stand-up comedy special on HBO. Girl, you're doing it all. And I am so grateful. You're truly the dream, not just the American dream. You're the black girl,
Honestly,
brown
I
girl,
don't know
do it
her.
all dream, the immigrant dream, everything. You're a beautiful, beautiful soul. I really, really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Yvonne Orji, ladies and gentlemen, nothing but the best and excellence personified. Thank you so much, my friend.
I love you so much, Mama. Mwah.
For what?
Yeah, la la.
So Atlanta has been one of the hotbeds in terms of political unrest and social injustice. We've seen so much happen in that city, and we've also seen so much come from that city, including one of our very own founding fathers of the civil rights movement, and that's Martin Luther King Jr. But right now, we want to welcome in someone who has used his platform to talk about voting, to talk about racial injustice, and how he's trying to help. Atlanta's very own Russ joins us now on We the People. Russ, I'm not going to fan out and tell you what some of my favorite songs were that I listened to repeat on yours. We're going to get to the topic at hand. So Amazing. We got to talk about, recently you did an interview where you shared your outlook on culture and music. And you also were very candid about the fact that you have a privilege and that it's necessary for you to give back. Tell everybody about that.
Financially off of it. So I feel like if you're a white person financially benefiting off of black culture, you have to put finances back into black culture. It's just that simple. The screenshots with your feelings, it just comes off like fake empathy because it comes off very dismissive and very oh, that sucks for y'all. But anyway, back to what I was doing.
Have you felt that way always, or is it now because of the time of where we are in this country?
I've always had the feeling. I think now it's just obviously elevated. It's a new level, and there's new, it's to the point now where you can't. First of all, you can't not say anything. Second of all, though, I just think saying something isn't enough anymore. I think if you have the ability to put money back into a culture that you're financially benefiting from, you have the ability to. You should.
it's interesting that you talk about it in that way,
songwriter.
because some people do believe that silence is the
I'm
best way to go,
coming,
because
kid.
it's hard to talk race, especially if you're white and you're in the Black culture. People just feel as if they can't talk about it. They feel awkward. They feel as if they don't have the privilege or the voice or the words. How do you find yourself right now in terms of interacting with people when they want to talk to you about social injustice, police brutality, what's going on in this country right now?
Well, first of all, picking and choosing whether you want to be silent or not about race, that's a privilege in and of itself. But no, I mean, I try to just do my best to listen to the black people around me and the educated black people I have in my life. So I do my best to not act like I have all the answers for everything, especially in a culture that I'm not from. But that's why when we decided to raise the money for Black Lives Matter organizations, when we raised 500,000, we got on the phone with some of the women who started Black Lives Matter. I got on the phone with Tamika Mallory. I was on the phone with Karen Civil and talking with my friends to make sure the money went to like the correct places, and people who really need it. It's just about listening. That's all. It's about listening.
Let's talk about that for a moment, because the way I think of activism, for me, it looks very differently. It's not necessarily just protesting on the front lines. I think that's great. But what about being an activist in the way in which you have decided to be one? What inspired you? What did it look like? You said you raised money for Black Lives Matter. What did you do? Walk us through everything that you did and how you find yourself in this moment right now.
So for me, it was 3 years ago. I had like a string of festivals, and I decided that I was going to wear T-shirts with a message on them, because I figured, what better time to use a platform than in front of a bunch of people. So one of the T-shirts I wore was, "If you want to change the system, speak up. White silence is pro-racism." The whole thing, and it didn't really it kind of got swept under the rug back then. But when all this stuff started happening again, and it's been happening, the police brutality against innocent black people, I was like, man, I'm not the biggest artist in the world, and I certainly don't have the most white fans in the world, but I got a good amount of people that I can definitely mobilize and turn into some money. And I know they're down for the cause because it's merch. It's a good thing. And I've always been outspoken anyway, And so how am I going to be in black culture and not be outspoken about racism?
And then I got to ask you this, because you grew up in Atlanta, so that gives you a heads up, depending for so many people, because you're in the crux of that beautiful black city where there are so many wonderful black leaders, home of so much great music and things that speak to our culture right now. And we are really, really getting our word out, especially with this platform today, and saying that we must use our voice to vote. Talk to me about what...
Alright, just go on my live real quick.
Full transparency, I have never voted.
Real quick. Wait. You want it?
This is a bit of a privilege to say it's got to a breaking point for me, because obviously it's been past the breaking point for black people. But I think that as a whole, the young people need to get out and vote, because we're the ones that never show up. You know what I mean?
Watch it on my live, because it won't work.
I'm on your live right now.
Happens, but at least we did our part. You got to do your part.
You're very candid in saying that you just decided to vote, and I think there's a beautiful irony in the fact that you have your fans saying, because of you, I'm voting.
Give your microphone.
There's something beautiful about that. But I want to know why now for you. Why in this moment is it important?
You're watching it?
Vote? And what hit your spirit to say, yes, this is the...
Hold up. My internet. Oh yeah, I did.
Are you in creative?
No.
Are you in Battle Lab?
No, it's not Battle Lab.
In the game?
Yeah, it's in like this game mode.
Check it for updates and it's taking forever. Do I have to update it?
No. It won't work. Yes, it will!
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah, because the live event won't work because it passed.
Oh my god!
So
Omar!
I can't go on Fortnite right now?
No, you can go on Fortnite, but you can't go on the event.
I can't join, why?
Guess it snapped a bunch of people out of it, you know.
Bro, you never fucking told me, bro. I could have been on later. Earlier.
Cause my mom didn't tell me. I not my mom didn't let me call you. Life my life.
Like, seriously.
But
Hold up.
you know, for so long, and I know I'm not alone with this, but, you know, standing on the outside and just dreaming about this and that and this and things, and it's like, all right, this is both. You know? And so I'm, you know...
What are they doing? Like, who are these people?
Oh, and they're famous celebrities.
I know the black girl. Are these the people that made Fortnite? No.
No. These are famous celebrities. This is the rappers talking.
Oh, so there's more rappers gonna come. Is 6ix9ine gonna go? Is the baby gonna go? I know Chopper gonna go?
No, famous celebrities. This is a rapper.
Is Kevin Hart gonna go?
No.
Is Kevin Hart gonna go?
No. There's only 6 people. This is the 3rd person.
I'm pretty sure you can do it.
I don't know. Try.
So, oh, these people?
Yeah. Look at the music.
Yeah, I can join it. I'm loading in right now.
Yeah, let me invite you.
No, here, I'm right here. I'm joining this. Oh, yeah, invite me so me and you can be together.
Look where it is. Look where it is. Look where I am. I'm over here.
Okay, hold on. Let me go.
It's over. Look at my stream. Look.
I'm looking at you. I know. I haven't marked it. You can mark it. Because I can see you mark it.
You're not even with me.
Hold on, but I didn't do anything.
Look at me. Look at my stream.
Okay, hold on. You can mark it. Because I can see you mark. I'm with you.
Buy me some cigarettes, Bobby. Buy me cigarettes.
Alright. You're going to sleep? No. Come on, let's find him some cigarettes.
Where can I see it?
Look.
Omar, he could join. You know why? Because he's
You shut up.
No.
Where?
Because I joined.
Look.
Started. Omar, I joined and then I started.
Tell her I do. Tell her I do.
Look, just go.
I think I see it. Is it where like the people are dancing?
Are you in my party? Are you in my game, I mean?
Yeah.
Come to where everybody is.
You're too ugly. No, I'm beautiful. You're a tomboy.
Look.
She likes pajamas.
Are you on the zip line? No, that's a
Oh, yeah, I'm
default.
gonna come to everybody as I see all the arrows.
You see all the arrows? Hurry. I'm gonna be on a zip line. Yeah, I'm Meow Squiz. I'm a cat.
I know you are.
You see me? I see you. No, come here. I see you. Come here.
I see your name. But let me try to grab a fucking jetpack or something.
No, just come here. Just run. There's a zip line. There's a whole bunch of zip lines. Come here. Come to me. Just come to me. Come here. I think they took it. Just come here.
I'm coming.
Come on, use the zip line. Hurry.
Vending machine? Huh?
Just come on, use the zip line. Hurry. No, he's not.
Jenny, do the cleanup now.
Alright. This is.
Jenny, no, bedtime.
Can they see us?
No, it's on Zoom. Jason Howard! No way, Jason Howard! What? He's a baseball player. He's a baseball player. No way, Jason.
Be quiet. I'm trying to hear. Be quiet.
Very surprised. Very surprised. Very surprised.
You're definitely not. You're definitely not surprised I'm awake.
When I come home, she's usually awake.
I don't know. How about you shut up?
Go to bed.
Jenny, put the bathing suit where you got it.
Gotta go to bed.
I can go in late.
Huh?
But if I go early, I finish my shit up. So much better. Like today I was at 2.
I didn't mean to.
Help her. She said the ninja mahi. وقعت بشك انت ما اتيسر. Beat him up.
Hold smack. Hold smack.
No,
Hold smack. Hold smack.
Yalla Jenny, start cleaning. Jenny, start cleaning. Jenny is after her. Yeah.
Don't turn it off. I'll beat you up.
No, because you said for the first time.
I waited a while. How long time? 5 minutes.
Shut up.
I go late, I'm gonna get out late. I go late, I go late. Like today. Let me go early, yeah. Maybe I go early.
What? Turn it off.
I said, why would she turn it off?
Yalla.
You was watching something.
Then I'll grab this for the cheesesteak.
Good. I'd rather you go if you guys feel more comfortable.
Where?
Zaha doesn't care if anybody goes to you, go more. So I thought
You go.
I feel like Zaha feels more comfortable if people want to
Yeah,
you
you
go
go.
more.
You go side. Grab it. When I went to go get the cheesesteak for Zaha, they run what they're doing. Extra meat. Yeah, so like a combo. Oh, you got a can on you? Like $37.
But he will go, you can take whatever you
go,
want.
I'll let you go. I'm like, when did we go?
You went, I didn't take.
When did I go? For what?
When you pick up your dad, we're going to Melax.
Oh, yeah, I was going to that.
Maria, come out.
You go to that. I go, okay, here you go. He shot me around. Like 45 minutes out. Cheeseburger? We're just talking. Grimes is more. He trained their employees like. My dad comes in.
What do you do the rest? I know how to get there. I know how. No. My dad shut. No, he said. No, he was talking to Juju. My sister. Oh, I got him.
Everybody knows that's the
I know. Yo, you gotta just use the zip line.
It is true. If we go to Greg Hugo, I know what we're gonna do tomorrow.
Look at my glider.
We drive around, whatever, park, whatever you do. I said, that's why I went early. I stayed early early, but right now with just being late.
I hate how you can't dance.
I didn't say that. Put the car.
I can be back by 12. So,
I'm coming to you.
by the time you come back,
Put the toys over there in the front.
Get in the car, we can leave. Wherever we want to go, we can go.
I don't care.
I'm gonna use it.
Just in case, I don't know if I gotta go back home.
No, you can't use emojis.
Just go back
Hey, yours.
Can I?
There's more.
here, eat out,
But I wanna watch this. This is there's only 2 more people.
whatever you want to do. I'm ready to do a door lock.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the lights on.
Don't
It's
what?
so late. I'm not gonna.
Good night, my now. Good night. See you tomorrow. You. No, I'm talking to my cousin.
I'm about to water.
Alright. Yo, you know. No, my older cousin. She's married.
Is that your?
Yeah, she's married. Yeah. I know. Pimp. But I love it when I'm by myself and all the lights are closed. What? Wait, I looked on Doodoo. I didn't know Doodoo went in the garage. Doodoo, come on. I got Daddy.
Look at this.
I know. I washed it 4 times already.
I wanna go make some because I'm hungry.
Dude, I have it because Dude wants to give it to you. Here, go give it to him. Come on. Kevin Rose. I love him. But he closed the garage door. Why is he lagging? This is the second to last. Hi, Kit.
Wait, do you need help in that? You know, like the big thing? You need help with that.
Necessarily win the presidency. That's uncomfortable right there. Because that's actually what took place in 2016.
Oh my god!
What? What happened?
I have to go to sleep now.
Why?
My mom.
She text you?
So I can go.
You gotta jump over there too.
Omar, when you get shot, hey, don't say Omar. Come on, we were just in that. Right now, our birthday. You want your daddy or
Yo, who the heck is Think King 746? Bro, why are they adding me? What the heck? DKK King 7426. Who is that? Bro, 2 people added me so far. I rejected it. might know this person.
And we could do and mobilize
Yeah, that's easy.
execution in a sense without
And that's Kermit.
involving
Oh, this person just get banned right in front of me. Uh, this person right next to me just left or got banned.
How do you get banned?
I said left or got banned. Oh,
Whoever.
I'm live streaming by the way.
Actually a combination. Who's you?
What is this? I don't care. I'm just doing it for Black Lives Matter. I don't really care. I'm just doing it for Black Lives Matters.
We're gonna try to find something to eat. Let me go finish this. Let me pretend like I'm watching. Alright, hold up.
Alright, give me something. Alan Rose, yeah.
this collective represents is in a lot of ways encouraging, but also sometimes disappointing about our growth as black people in America. Because we were brought here as slaves into entertainment. And we use those vehicles to get paid and move to the suburbs and be idols of white people. And so now that we get into this collective,
What? Oh.
represents the most powerful piece of black liberty in the world.
What? I hit that.
I'm talking about money, power, leverage. People are mobilized, community involvement, their leadership, their intellect. And so to have all of us pulling in the same direction at the same time for anything that we're passionate about is going to be a difference maker, but it's definitely going to be a difference maker in the 2020 vote because we're going to make sure we inform everybody with this and let them know
Wow. What did you talk about?
that failure is not an option. A perfect example took place recently, Carrie, in Kentucky. It was held at
Vote
night. And so many
suppression
legislators from
in
CPS,
Kentucky.
what they did, locked the door. And you know what the people did? They continued to bang on the doors, continued to beat on the windows, and continued to let it be known they were not going to leave the premises until they got a chance to vote. And you know what ended up happening? They opened those doors and allowed those people to vote. So do
Wow.
not be discouraged. Remember those legislators that we're here to celebrate you.
Happy to allowed to
Celebrate
vote.
what our people have graced us with. Because you know what's going to happen. At some point, Breonna Taylor is not going to be trending anymore. People are not going to be protesting anymore.
Wow. 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 I'm testing my microphone while I work, guys. So that's why I. Hello? 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 I could.
Critical mass moment for the
Kaylin
people to continue to
Rose.
hold up as much steam for as long as possible. And that's what this collection is going to hopefully
The
allow
speakers, I forgot.
that situation to happen.
Jalen, in today's age of technology, it should be easier to vote.
No doubt. It's like we call these devices smartphones, but yet I can't vote from them. All of the things that we do in our lives are in our phones. All of these barriers are things that people will need to overcome in order to create a level of enthusiasm to vote. And again, this is not political. It's your right to do so. And there's so many times where you feel like somebody may have gotten done unjustly in your communities. Pay attention to
Oh,
who the judges are, who's running for Senate, mayor, governor. Pay attention who's running for president. And let's make sure in 2020, we make a difference.
Kanye West.
So important and invaluable in our community right now.
Well, because right now, I think we have an opportunity to let our voices be heard louder than ever. Anytime you see the mobilization of white kids holding Black Lives Matter signs, that means there's a breakthrough. Now, what happens with that breakthrough is the next step. You're going to look down in your emails, Carrie. You're going to see all of these companies telling you how they're going to work on their diversity and how they're looking themselves in the mirror. They need to make change. Just like in sports, right? You look on the field, you're on the court, all those black players. Further you get up, it's like altitude or a ladder. It gets thinner and thinner. And so a lot of people talk about the system being broken. I hate to remind people that it's not broken. It was built this way. And one of our ways to help change the system is to vote. So that's why more than a vote is so very important. So we can make sure everybody participates and gives themselves an opportunity to let their voice be heard.
I think it's interesting because you talked about black men being very powerful in the U.S. if they're athletes and entertainers, because for so long those have been the only avenues traditionally to create wealth. The NBA season comes back. What are your feelings on the season coming back?
I already know who's playing Rondo.
I think you'll see players challenging the establishment more. You're going to see them saying, okay, if you have all of these marketing and promotional deals, how many of them are with minorities? How many people are you employing in NBA? What about certain teams? Who do you have as a minority owner? Or what about the candidates that you have for positions of power? NBA players have proven as blacks that they are now movers and shakers in the game. They're now the dog, not the tail. So if they decide not to play, some of the biggest social changes and
ESPN
conversations have
co-host.
taken place in sports that weren't during the game.
What are you
Ali
saying,
Summit
Ginger,
wasn't
huh?
before the game. The Ali Summit was a press conference.
Nah, son.
So they could mobilize
We can
if they
fight.
wanted to. But when an
Kid is
NBA
my son.
player challenged the league,
Yeah,
Black
boy.
Lives Matter on the jersey,
Let's
to
fight.
continue to make sure that every time people are
Alright, you don't
watching
even
the
have
game,
this.
they're also
Yeah.
seeing the movement.
Yeah.
Jalen, I
Good
appreciate
wait,
you
boy.
because you are always entertaining and
You
informative.
too. You
I
too.
really, truly am looking
You too.
forward
You
to
too. You too.
continuing this.
Everyone in
And
here.
thank you for working with more as
Except
well
for
because your voice, your platform, all of it is needed, my friend. Be safe,
Zom.
okay?
Yes, ma'am. I love and appreciate you. One call away always.
Thank you. Love you, brother.
Love you too.
The
Great conversation
person.
that we had today. I hope it's helpful for you. I am so grateful to everyone
Oh, that's the last
who
person.
talk about what's going on in our culture and how we
No way, Jalen was the last person.
Jalen Rose, Bundy, Jason Hayward, Ron Orgy, and Russ.
Yep.
Their words were inspiring, but also important and invaluable. I hope your phone is full with all the information that we've been able to place in front of you. Again, you need to check out these resources because they are so important because we want you to vote. That is your voice. It is important. We, the people, want you to vote. So go to morethanavote.org, fairfight.com, and weneedallvote.org. Again, thank you so much for joining us and paying attention because this message, again, is invaluable. I'm Carrie Champion, building culture.
Aren't you in that next show is low key? Low key. Now we battle. I'm gonna leave. I'll bet. I wish I had the drone night.
You do have that.
Stop the cap. Oh, she want lose. Where's mine? True, I can't get next year. Next year's about to pass 1 gig. I have 300 V-Bucks. Man. Yeah, I matter. Everybody matters. Oh, I finished my sword. A nice ass doesn't really matter. Put that order at the bottom. Civilities. Friends right there. Friends right there. It ended.
How much?
Yo, it ended.
Who was the last person?
It was the ESPN co-host. I think. I forgot his name. Yeah, it finished.
But I still see arrows like everybody's over at the party station.
Yeah, because you went there. The event finished.
Most of the people are still here.
Yeah, but the event finished.
I'm leaving that. Just play the new game mode.
No, that's squads. I hate Siphon, bro. It sucks.
I never played it. What is it about?
It sucks.
What is it?
All healing items have been removed, so there's no heals. And
okay, that's good.
The only way to gain health...
Easy good. Easy dub.
No, the only way to gain health is to eliminate people.
Easy dub.
How?
Oh.
Go to game chat.
No, I'm not going to game chat.
Lish!
No.
Right, I'm going to game chat. Yeah, matter. Pockets matter. I'm waiting for go to game chat.
I'm not going to game chat. You just saying game chat the answer. No, I'm not going to go. Oh, that was the last guy? Let's see it. How long was it going on for?
Can I just Joey?
No. Omar. Omar. Omar.
I'm talking to you.
Omar.
Oh my God, I keep going.
Go to game chat, you law.
I'm not going to game chat. Huh? Elmon! Now I have to fucking go to game chat. I have to go.
I was in party chat the whole time.
Yeah, I know you were. I heard you. Want to go to the game chat so you can suck the dick? I'll be happy.
Ah. Wait, actually go to game chat.
We are in game chat.
Holy, there's 50 million people. There's a whole bunch of people. A hunter rifle.
Oh.
Like this. Oh! No, all I have is a hunter rifle. I just needed that.
Or you kill somebody. Be so out.
Whoa! What? What? 111? What's up? What?
Chicken wing, well, 111? How?
I don't know.
It's either 90 or 200.
Exactly.
Going on. What the fuck? 111? You probably hit him in the neck. Yeah, you probably hit him in the neck. Or the chest.
That's a headshot.